Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Just waiting for everybody to connect here. Get the video transmission going. Get comfortable. Got my beer. Got a beach. There we go. Well, hello, everybody. I am in paradise right now. Uh, yeah, I'm just gonna. I know you guys are probably going to be on a 40-second delay, but right behind me is the ocean. Can't see anything. All those little lights you see, though, those are all fish farms, way out into the ocean, pretty far away. I'm at Solina. That's the hotel resort. It is an absolutely gorgeous 5-star resort, and I took over their bar that they only open on the weekends. That's at the other side of the resort because there's people, all by the pool, and like there's three pools, big restaurant, and like tons of lounging areas. Just really gorgeous place. And so yeah, I decided, okay, how about I take over your bar area? They gave me fantastic internet. I really can't complain. Things have been absolutely amazing. Hey, my transition to the Philippines. Congratulations, my friend. One more month. That's fantastic. Not long to go, right? Where are we? Already halfway through the month or something? Okay, wishful thinking. Sorry, 6th of the month. Okay, we're not halfway yet. Let me know that you guys can hear me loud and clear. No static or anything like that. If I need to get closer to the mic or anything like that, please let me know. I'm going to make sure everything's cranked up. But yeah, other than oceans, waves crashing, silence, absolute silence. And I'm in Carlis. So if you don't know where Carlis is, it is Iloilo, which I didn't know at the first. It is right at the top, essentially, the top corner of the Panay. Right after this is Gigantes, which is like some of the most gorgeous islands you've ever seen in your life. My tour didn't happen this morning. I have to reschedule to Thursday because we had rain this morning and really choppy weather and everything. And they still went ahead with it. But I said, listen, I'm going to be filming this. I would like it to be a perfect day. Can I reschedule? And they said yes. So that's fantastic. So I was going through these, instead of interrupting my talking, I am just putting you on the screen. So there you go. All right. So something I just came upon today, and the reason I was making this alive, to make this more of a conversation, because not just a video, straight up video. And the reason I wanted to come out there, maybe people have different opinions because you might be from another part of the Philippines. Who knows? Maybe I'm way off. And gain. Where's one? Gain. I don't think I can go up higher on gain, but I'll try. All right. And so one thing I did notice going through these provincial towns, that now we're much further away from like the big cities, right? Is that, oh my gosh, it's all men. Yes, there are females, don't get me wrong, but I mean, but from the age of like 20 to 35, 40, let's say 40 to be safe, is all men. That's it. So the trike drivers, the fishermen, and what else? I don't know. Jeepney drivers, I guess, that kind of thing. And sure, there are some women that are working in like some fast food places or something. There's no fast food out here, but that kind of thing. But some of the places, but for the most part, they are mothers of married families, that kind of thing, right? All right, so I'm getting all different kinds of things. Some people say I sound good. Some people saying, well, this guy's saying my audio is sucky. I think I'm going to just be stuck with it. I cranked everything up, and maybe that's making it worse. So we're just going to leave it how it is. Sorry, guys. All right, so anyway, and it got me thinking. I'm like, wait, none of this makes any sense. Like, where are all the women? They don't seem to be anywhere. And so that's where I started getting thinking, and then I started researching it. And apparently I'm not crazy. I am not crazy. Shocking, right? So the Philippines, as the last 15 years or so, right, has really, really come a long way. I think a lot of people can recognize that. And in that, a lot more people go to college now, right? Or anything right after, even high school. Completing high school has increased dramatically, but so has completing college. And an interesting fact that I just found here as of September 9th, 2022, approximately 1.32 females for every male are in tertiary education enrollment in the Philippines. So it says tertiary education is composed of colleges that offer one or more specialty programs, universities with 8 undergraduate degree programs, so on and so forth. So 32% more females are going to college. And so what happens is they have to go to the big city to go to college, number one. And then after that, well, they're going to go to, they're going to go to a big city to get a good job because they have a college degree now. Or they're going to go and be an OFW and work in Canada, the United States, something like that, right? And so that makes a lot of sense. Wait a minute, yeah. That means there's going to be, 32% more men around than females of that age group for the, sorry, security's over there. Let's see if we can turn that down or something. It's really, I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's really loud for me. Anyway, so so that means, there's going to be a lot more men staying back, doing those, staying as fishermen, farmers. That's what I missed. Farmers, jeepney drivers, that kind of thing. And if a woman doesn't get married and get pregnant and have kids, then that's what's going to be, right? Is going to be that they're going to stay home, and then the women are all taking off. And so, wow, big difference. And then, but yet, if you go to Iloilo, which is a big city, well, a lot of them work at the BPOs. A lot of them there's a lot of jobs there, period, right? So even all the retail and everything, there's so much more employment. And so where it used to be a lot more single females that are not married with kids, that kind of thing, or not over the age of retirement or whatever, maybe 50 plus. Like it'd be 50 plus, but what's going to happen is every year it's going to push further out, I think, because anybody who's 35-ish or whatever was during the boom of education, getting better and better. And so just like our country places in Canada, the United States, where you have all the farms and everything else, where the towns just became ghost towns, nobody liked hanging out there or anything. And so I think that same thing is happening here, where everybody's now flocking to the cities and there's just nothing to do in the country. And so, everybody is just kind of like, wow, there's nothing to do here. I can't wait to get out of here. That kind of thing, right? So, I think the same sort of thing is happening, right? We got these little small towns all across Canada that the youth can't wait to move out. There's nothing to do there. It's not fun or anything. So as soon as they're going to be done college, they're going to try to get the heck out of there, right? And I think the provinces in the Philippines are kind of going that way too. And so I don't know if you notice it, but just look in the videos and you're going to see it. Now, if you go to areas where there's no big cities for a long ways, you might find a little bit more. But yeah, like I noticed coming out here that if you're not in Rojas City, you're going to see a big difference when you leave. And of course, Iloilo is great, but in Iloilo, also the province towns that are nearby there, well, they're perfect because they can live in their hometown and still work in the city. There's still a quick jeepney or a bus, maybe 45 minutes or something like that to get into the city. And so their cost of living is lower, but they work in the city. And so then, yes, you can still find them there. Anyway, so that's what I started to realize, and I was like, how far off am I on this? Is this really what I'm seeing? Or are they just all hiding somewhere? Another stat I found here is very interesting. So there are a total of 10 million Filipinos that live abroad. But now they're at a rate, so that's total, right? 10 million Filipinos living abroad. But that total grows by 1 million per year now, which is huge, right? It's 10% every single year. And so it's just only getting bigger and bigger. And you can see it in Iloilo at all the BPOs buildings. The main floors have a bunch of recruiting companies. And those recruiting companies have lines of people that they're just willing to hire anybody. And then also I just saw that Germany, their colleges or universities, something like that, or some of them, whatever, are now offering free nursing school for Filipinos. And then you can have work immediately after you're done university. So you don't even have to study here, do your 1 or 2 years here, get your experience, and then go and work overseas. Now they're saying, no, just go to university here and just follow in our system the whole way. Wow. Wow. So that was another interesting one. So what was there? There was another one here that I was going to mention. Also, the average age of a Filipino worker is 23 and a half years old. 23 and a half years old. That's like a huge young workforce. I don't know if that's like, I guess it would probably be because of the cities. If you think about it, like Manila and the greater Manila area, it's like 35 million. That's counting, Quezon and Manila and something. It's just an astronomically big number. And so if you look at that, and then same, take Mindanao and take Davao, you take Cebu, and if you take Iloilo and some of the other big employment areas, it's probably most of their population. And so yeah, it really does change the dynamic of it all. I'm interested to see what any of you think, because a lot of you might be Filipinos. This is a Filipino live stream time, because it's 9 o'clock in the morning on a weekday in the West Coast, East Coast, and in the West Coast it's what, 6 o'clock, something like that. So yeah, you guys might have a better idea if there's a lot of people here that are Filipinos living in the Philippines. I'm glad my audio is starting to look better. I think Anthony was trolling me, so that was fine. I kind of figured that out after a minute there. He was just trying to get under me. Ted, I'm feeling good. My mental state is decent. You remember, it was announced to everybody January 1st, but it had been going on for a couple of months. So I've had 4 months now. Things are better. Things are better. But as you can imagine, getting used to being solo everywhere, and I don't know, it's just a different life, right? Like, yeah, it's different life. And then right now I'm staying in this beautiful, gorgeous resort, and I've got to talk to a couple people here, but they're all here as couples. And it's like a romantic type place. Like, some of these rooms have really cool, massive separate room with a big, huge tub in them and all that kind of thing. And beautiful pools and hammocks for two everywhere, and like, it's got everything. And so there's a lot of couples here. So being a solo guy, it's just like there's nobody to hang out with. There's a pool table over here, and there's a gym. That's cool. And there's like foosball, and I don't know, they got everything all over here. But nobody's solo here. So just me. So it's these are the times when you really kind of get used to it, right? So good evening from Las Pinas here in Manila. Do I even say that right, Neil? I don't know. Las Pinas. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Hello from Middle Village, Queens, New York. And you finally did catch the live. Thank you, Check the Logic. Appreciate it. Well, that's why, if I do some at night this time, I'm going to get some different people for sure. And I appreciate you all. Thank you very much for being here. The last live, was interesting with the internet, and it kind of lost a little momentum there. But that's okay. That's okay. We worked it out. A lot of you still returned, so we appreciate that. So yeah, I've been doing good. Gab, depends. Is this Gab from Iloilo, or I know a few Gabs. Okinawa, Japan. Hello, Don. Wait, is this the Don I met from Okinawa, Japan? Probably. Maybe. Thank you very much, Ted. Appreciate that. How nice of you to take yourself on vacation. Right? I'm doing self-care. I had a massage on the beach. It was part of my package, and it was freaking awesome. It was absolutely amazing, because I only had 3 hours sleep last night, because they wanted me up at 6 a.m. for this thing that ended up getting canceled or rescheduled. And so it was like, no, it was so tired, but I was surprised I stayed awake through it, because it was magic. It was magic. Watching from Ottawa, Canada. Hello, Edwin. All right, Billeen, you're single also. There we go. Good evening, Michael. Welcome to Carlise. Wow, Bernard. Thank you, Bernard. I actually really liked it here in Carlise. You guys are going to see in tomorrow's video when I arrive in Carlise a little more detail, give you a little show of what downtown looks like and that kind of thing. And then, then the video after that, you'll see like they're a crazy fishing port, and it's quite interesting how the fish buyers, like the big distributor kind of guys, they sit up on these high benches and they look down at all the people and the fish, and there's all this negotiating and stuff like that. It's quite interesting. But yeah, and then my boat trip got canceled, so I came back here. But I went to a farm, that was cool, and stuff like that. So, okay, one of Bianca's cosplay friends. Okay. Oh, Gab, you're not Spider-Man, are you? Maybe. Let's see. What's this? I have something good waiting for me? What? Within 11 more months? Wow. Boston, Massachusetts. Thank you, John. Welcome, welcome. Love Boston. One thing I can tell you about Boston is I remember that they had Uber Boat, because the airport's on the opposite side. I think it's Logan, right? It's on the opposite side of the bay, and you got all the skyscrapers on the other side. And so then you can take an Uber boat instead of having to go through all the traffic and everything just to get to the airport on the other side. I'm pretty sure you have Uber helicopter too if you want to go to New York City, but still super cool. Let's see. Deborah, good to see you from Houston, Texas. Hello, Deborah. So glad you can join. And so what else can I tell you about this area? Like Carlis, interesting thing is speaking to some of the locals, especially the ones that work here, is that before this resort opened up here, there was no real big employers other than fish and farming. And that was it. And now this place employs 500 people or something, some big number. It's a lot of people. You can think of all the construction people too, and it huge amount of service. So this is like 5-star. Thank you, Circolo Travel, by the way, for the special deal, because I wouldn't have paid for this. Actually, the pricing is really amazing considering it's 5-star. But the service, it doesn't matter where you go. There are people everywhere. Anything you need, no problem. Everything delivered to your room, no problem. It's like not a little bit of dust anywhere. I saw them last night. They had these 30-foot brooms, and they sweep the ceiling in the main restaurant every single evening. It's spotless here. And I think the most expensive room they have in the whole place is 6,000 pesos a night. So $100 American, right? So that's the most expensive, but it's because it's way up here in Carlis. And here in Carlis, there's no other jump off point to go to Gigantes and all these gorgeous islands here. There's not a lot else going on out here. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's waterfalls. There's a lot of waterfalls out here, but it's not like there's 10 other resorts or anything. No, they're the only ones. So everybody is so happy this resort opened here, because they are like the number one employer and providing good jobs and places they have like room and board type thing with their jobs here too. So they have places to live and everything. So yeah, it's really, really cool place. You guys will see tomorrow's video, get to see the place. And I got to show all the rooms and the prices. They gave me the prices for all of them. So really impressed with the place. Really liked it. All right. Yes, water taxi. See, there we go. I know in Toronto we have them to go to the island, but that's not the same as just pick up your phone and take me to the airport, that kind of thing with a boat. It's so cool. Boise, Idaho. Hello, Scott. Thank you very much, Scott. Appreciate that. Wait and you'll see. People love you, Mike. Wait, well, but what's 1 year, though? You said something about a year. And I'm like, wait, what's coming here in a year, and should I worry? Is it a stalker? Jay Tyson, hello. We miss having you here in Iloilo. Yeah, I'll be back Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. But Monday morning, I am going at 7:30 in the morning. I am going to a Super Bowl party with other Canadians. Who knew? Who knew this was a thing? And it's not technically in Iloilo, it's in Gimbal. But yeah, that's going to be cool. I haven't seen the Super Bowl in like that way in years. I've seen only like after, you get to see all the clips and stuff like that, because it's been years since I've been back at home. And even in Canada, sometimes it was hard to find people that are willing to watch or wanting to watch. They'll watch the Grey Cup, but they won't watch the Super Bowl. So anyway, by the way, does everybody believe the conspiracy theories that now they think that it's always been rigged and everybody knows already ahead of time who's going to win the Super Bowl? I don't know. Just something on Twitter. Berlin says not all single leave the provinces. Some are studying in the city. Yeah, exactly. But after they finish studying, now they got a degree. Where are they going to get the best use out of their degree, though, right? The vast majority are going to then go to a city in order to get that good job, or they're going to go overseas and make a lot of money and then come back when they're like 40, 50 years old. And, people are asking me, like, who can afford these things? Who can afford these things? Well, the big OFW craze happened like 10, 15, 20, actually more than that, but 25 years ago. And just like my friend Alex that I met in Dumaguete, if you're watching, hello, Alex. They make really great money there, bank it all, put or buy a house and everything, and so that you can sell it one day. And then they're moving back here to the Philippines, and they can buy, $60,000 or $100,000 houses, nothing, So they're really reinvesting it back into their country, and that's why when I tell people you come to Iloilo, and they're like, oh, the locals can't afford that. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry to tell you, but the place is full of them. So there's not foreigners everywhere. So who's paying to fill all these places? Yeah. And I think something like $40 billion a year is sent by like Western Union and stuff like that into this country. So some of you expats out there with a girlfriend here, many of you who've never met your girl and been supporting them for a couple of years and you still haven't met, no judgment. You make your own choices. But yeah, so some of you, and then all, of course, the family members that went over to work, send maybe 20K of their income back here, and then their family can then boom, boom, build right up. So, yeah. Whoa, Cayman Islands. Somebody's living the life here. 345 adventures from the Cayman Islands. Are you living there, or are you just vacationing there? Because, ooh. Listen, that's like the best. Never mind, you got all the places to hide your money in a bank account there. Are you going to be just traveling? Yeah, so I am leaving to Luzon the end of this month. I'm going to Batangas, and then I'm going to go all the way north. Different days, all the way, like stop, all the way, going all the way to Vegan. I could keep going, but it's already going to probably take 3 weeks. So that's going to be a really big trip for me. And then when I get back, I have to decide where I'm going to live because we're getting too close to my end of my lease. I have to give myself at least 4 or 5 weeks to figure out where am I going to live and then find a place so that by the May 11th deadline, I can, have a place to live. Or I just store everything and just just don't have a home and just kind of float for a month or two. It might be a good way to save a lot of money. So, yeah, I will see. I will see. I feel like AI has kind of destroyed photography, but maybe not here in the Philippines. Maybe got another 5 to 10 years here in the Philippines. I don't know. But in the West, it's like people can now just take a picture of themselves and then just put it into AI and say, now put me in this outfit. Okay, now put me on the street in New York City. Now change the lighting, change the shadow, do this, do that. Imagine what they're going to be able to do in 1 year from now. Yeah, I don't know. It might be one of those things where people will do it for nostalgic reasons, but you can put yourself on the moon now. You can put yourself in an F-16, and it looks 100% realistic. It's getting ridiculously good. So I'm not sure. if photography is going to last anymore. But there we go. Check the logic. For those of us that cook, it's more cost-effective to buy fish, fruits, and vegetables from the market, but buy steak from the grocer. Or I wouldn't buy much from the grocery store, to be honest. You buy the brand stuff that you might want. Maybe you need ketchup or something like that. But it's always cheaper, to buy everything in the markets. But there are main distributors that import beef. So if you want beef. Another way is if you do have a freezer, you can purchase a cow and pay a very small amount of money, really, for the butcher to cut it in the cuts you want. So you can do all of that. A whole cow is like 70,000 pesos, though. So that's like $1,200 US. And then pay a couple $100. But then you'd have over a year, depending on how much beef you eat, maybe a year and a half of beef, or you split it with somebody else, $700 each, with your cost of the butcher and everything. If you both have freezers, that kind of thing. It's no different than back home, but nowadays it's a heck of a lot more money back home, I think. But yeah, at the auctions, you can buy the cow. Literally, you can buy the cow. It's about 70,000 pesos for a fully grown, nice fat cow. That's why a lot of people start with a young one at 25,000 pesos and start feeding them. And then when they fatten up, they sell them for 70, and then they put their kid through college from it, that kind of thing. Steven, we were talking tonight. Hey, brother, just stopping by to hit the like and spend a few minutes. Thank you very much. Steven's going to be moving into a new rental home, a really, really nice one, and he's letting me give him a tour for our YouTube here so you can see what kind of home he moved into. Steven was last in the videos when we showed Mark's beautiful 80,000 peso house, and he's a real close friend of ours, so really appreciate you all the time, Steven. Do you currently have a place to live, or are you still staying in hotels? So, yeah, like Bianca and I still live in the same house. We have a 3-bedroom house. I just took over my office because it already had a bed in it, and that's my bedroom now. So, and then she, has her office, and I just let her, whatever. I don't want to say let her. She has the bedroom. Let's just say that. I hate talking about this stuff. I get all awkward. Anyway, she does her thing. I do my thing. And because it's just financially, it just makes sense to finish out we're stuck in the lease. We can't get out of it. It's a lawyer that owns it. Unless we're leaving the Philippines, that person can get the money from us real quick. Cost them nothing to sue us. So, yeah, I'm just going to follow the rules. They put a clause in the lease. It's not cancelable. You must pay the 100% of the lease even if you leave early. So it's okay. We're almost at the end. Only one more payment, end of March. And then it's paid till May 11th. Because I moved in on 11 days. So that's the plan. Still figuring that out right now. Sorry. We'll see. All right. Go to school. Have fun. AI will produce your own YouTube channel. So AI can already do a lot, right? But it's going to stop. It can prevent this kind, right? Like it can take over this kind of stuff. Or the people that just sit in front of a camera and just talk about a subject. It can do that now. It can replace you. Done. You don't need anything. You can say, make me a script, have Midjourney create you an image of a person that you want to talk. You drop that image in, and then you put the audio with it, and say, okay, I want Sean Connery's voice. Or a mix of a bunch of voices. And you drop the image in and said, make this person talk. And it does it. And they're ridiculously good now. That part, there's nothing you can do about that. AI writes the script. Everything. You don't have to do anything. You're just literally, and eventually the platforms will be able to do this so they don't even need you. What I'm doing is so much different. When you're vlogging, you're going amongst the people. You're going into things. AI can only produce something that has happened. You can't make something happen. So I think I can keep it going longer. It's like the news. News will still happen. Somebody's still got to go over there and see it happen. So, yeah, it'll be one of the last things to be replaced, I think, this type of YouTube. But the people that just talk, even just responding comments, I could sit here. AI could right now read your comment, come up with a witty answer, and literally make a person talk and say the answers to you. Can do that now. So yeah, it'll be a whole new world, that's for sure. All right, I do wish you luck. Good luck in your exams. Yeah, you can buy the whole cow. I just saw a family here that they have like 15 cows there, and they're nice and fat. They're literally feeding them like grain and everything. So they got them nice and juicy. But their farm is actually a hobby farm, and it'll be in the video, so you'll see eventually. So even the goats, somebody brushes them. They have beautiful coats of hair and every animal in there, and it's because they literally use it as a hobby, and it's just for fun. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, Billy, you got to realize it's just ended recently, and I am in the Philippines. It's going to be awfully easier to find a Filipino wife. But no rush for the wife part. Let's leave that aside. Maybe. I was single I was divorced first. I was married once when I was 20, and then I was divorced at 30. And then I was 46 before I got married again. I totally fine with just dating and not needing commitment, I could eventually just have somebody clean my place once a week and do my laundry for very little. So what do you need the wife for, right? And if you're dating, well, the other part's covered. So, yeah, beef is a little pricey. Yeah, it is. It is. It's not cheap here because we don't have like the big grazing fields of the United States and Canada, that kind of thing. We're all a bunch of islands, so it's just to import things. You don't just import it to one destination, like Manila, for example. Okay, import it to Manila. Now you got to bring it from Manila to another island to get to you, that kind of thing. So, of course, logistics-wise, it's always going to be easier in places like North America or even on the mainland in places like China and Thailand and whatever. They will have still be able to get it cheaper. It was expensive, though, in Albania, right? All the mountains and everything. You just had goats, lots of goat. I love goat, by the way, barbecue goat. I fell so much in love with it when I was there. They barbecue it just delicious. I always thought goat was like musty tasting or whatever. When I was back in Canada, I must have had bad goat because once I got there, none of that goat was musty. It was so good. It was the other beef, I was loving it. Okay, I'm going to wish you the best and enjoy your prom. Split it with somebody else. Yeah, half a cow, exactly. And a lot of foreigners here, they will get a freezer because they like to do that, like to buy a lot of things. And if you have a generator or if you have solar or something, you don't have to worry. But, the good thing about a freezer is you need it takes a few days before it actually is affected because if it stays closed, you don't open it or everything, it'll stay good. Look at that. Chemo. Right on the money, eh? Raquel, hello, Raquel. Yeah, I think I'm not going to that island anymore. I was going to. I'm going to be going to that island eventually. I'm probably going to be in Estancia, and we'll see if I day trip it. But originally I was supposed to, but that's because this morning I was supposed to go do the Higantes and all that stuff. But then because of the storm and rain and everything, it got pushed to Thursday. And so that means I can't stay overnight Wednesday night in Sorsogon. I can't stay there because then I would have to take a boat back at very early in the morning and then a vehicle just to get back to the other port by, I think, 8 a.m. And so that just sounds like. But the good thing is all these islands here, I've really been pushing them off because I'm trying to wait until I can get a drone again because then I'll be able to, I can actually, get good footage I really want. When you have a place like that, you can get really amazing footage. And apparently everybody says not everybody, but half the people say I really need to pump up this microphone. So I have another place I can do it so that I can see if I can't crank this up because there's got to be a way. Manage sound devices. Okay. And microphone is, just give me a second, guys. I'm going to make sure that you guys won't be saying that anymore. You'll be like, this is so loud, turn it down. No. I just got to find the right microphone. I have too many of them on here. No, I can only disable. I don't want to disable. That's not what I asked for. All right, let's try that. Oh, that's a different master volume. That's not the microphone. All right, where can I turn you up, microphone? Privacy settings. Sorry, guys. Not there. I've already got it max on my board. Everything is maxed out, so I'm just checking on my sounds here to see if there's a reason for it somewhere else, if it's like set to low or something. It's not the volume mixer, no. Yeah, it should be here in the sound settings. Move it over here so I'm not staring away from you guys. So that input, yes, microphone, good. It says test your microphone, but I'm like, no. Oh, here we go. Okay. Wow, look how red that just went. All right, I got to lower it now because you guys are going to be like, wow, that's too loud. Okay, so I'm going to put these on for a second so I hear what I sound like. Greetings from Reno, Nevada. I will be in Pasay end of February for a week, and then off to Ormoc City. Thinking about purchasing a second home there for the winter months in the States. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, there you go. Alex was just like that, right? 6 months here, 6 months in Vancouver. You know, a little colder in Vancouver, but you guys are on the same side anyway. And Pasay is a little, crazy. Like that's home of the casinos and a ton of people and Mall of Asia and everything else. But I don't know anything about Ormoc City. I'm going to have to check that out. Is pork more expensive than beef and chicken? No. Beef is still number one. How old am I? I am 48 years old. Do I not look it? Well, I've vlogged there so many times. It's just not on this channel, right? It was on my last channel. So, yeah. Right now, I'm actually focusing on places that I'm considering that I might move to because I have this deadline, right? May. So that's the only thing. I kind of really do want to stay at least close to Iloilo, but we'll see. I like I said, I'm going to Batangas, which is, in a beautiful area down there where you got Taal volcano and all that. And it's so lush. And I know I love it down there. It is so beautiful. But I'd have to give up. Like, I have such a good friend group here and everything here in Iloilo that I'm like, I'm a little afraid of that. So anyway, so we'll see. So I definitely go back to I will be there. What am I saying? I will be actually in Rockwell, which is close. It's not BGC, but the Rockwell area. A friend of mine just moved from Eastwood to Rockwell, and he's letting me stay in his place when I do this trip. So I will be staying up there, and it's a beautiful area. I like that Rockwell thing. I think is it called the power plant or something like that? Some fancy thing. Yeah. No, I'm afraid I'm 48. So technically it was maybe 45 when we got married. Yeah, I guess it was 45. Yes, I'm going to La Union. I'm going to be hanging out with Michael Onstad, the big insurance guy. He's got some plans for me actually. So this will be good. Visit Antique too for sure. I love Antique. I've been there several times, but I haven't done the same full dive like I do now nowadays, where I really have tried to get to know a whole area before I move on, and then sometimes I even go back and visit it. Yeah. So my friend did move there. So he moved from Boracay with his family to Mactan. He didn't last. He signed a 1-year lease, and he ended up walking from a ton of money that he just gave to them because he wanted to get out of there. He didn't like the traffic on the bridge. It's kind of not a lot of things to do on Mac 10. So Mac 10 really suffered from that last typhoon, right? There's literally ships that were lifted off the water and dropped on land. It's like I did a video there, and I walked all over the place, and the typhoon did take a big hit. And between that and the pandemic, all the big plans they have for Mac 10 just kind of got shelved. So there's a lot of unfinished construction stuff. Now that was a year ago. For all I know, things are crazy now. Like I said that 7 months ago or whatever, and when I was in Bacolod at the Rockwell, and I was just at their sales center. And yeah, now it doesn't look anything like that. Now it's taken off, and it just looks so much different. So I think anything's possible, but my friend got out of there, and so I'm kind of biased right now, and I didn't really enjoy my time there. Do you plan to return to Toronto anytime soon? No. So the thing is I spent my whole life in Toronto. Really, no, I don't like the winter, right? My mother now lives in Panama. My brother recently passed away. My father recently passed away. Everything just the last few months. I've had a lot of things happen in my life. To spend 30 hours to go down there when I haven't been to Japan, I haven't been to Thailand. I have not been to Bali, Asia, basically. I've been to Australia, but I haven't been to Asia. And there's parts of Europe I'd love to go to too and stuff like that. So if I'm going to go somewhere, I'm going to go somewhere that I haven't been, and especially not lived 5 years of my life in, that kind of thing. You want me to take this off? There is no wind right now. Maybe that'll be it. There is no wind. My mic is showing I'm going into the red. So, are you guys all just being really picky on me? Maybe that's what it is. Try to turn it a bit too, so I'm right on it. But I don't know. I can listen here. Let me see. Oh my God! I'm really, really tons of bass. I think something was cranked up that gave me a lot more bass. How about that? Nope. I have a deep voice. I have a very deep voice. I should do like slow jams. So I just did that one. Okay, so there was somebody else asking something here. Have you been to Mindanao? No, I have not been to Mindanao. I have been invited now by, I don't know if they're LGU or directors, a board of directors, something like that, for Davao, which is in Mindanao, but a lot of people go there. But no, I have not been to Mindanao. Mainly just because, I just haven't. It's kind of a little far for me right now when it was going this way. And other than Davao, there's no big cities. Well, and I shouldn't say that. General Santos, yeah, that's pretty big. There's a few big cities, actually. Yeah. Angel. Hello, Angel. Hello. Arevalo. Well, JL, I removed it. If you're an audio tech, I removed it for you. So hopefully it worked. In your case, I'd leave options open for sugar mama. That way. No. I don't need no sugar mama. God, no. My ability to vlog every day is not a problem, and you can do good money on this, but I also get opportunities that I just haven't taken advantage of. But a company is now being registered so that I can take advantage of them. There's a lot coming up. For a whole week, I'm going to be in the mountains with the military in April, with a charity. So you guys stay tuned for that. I'm being part of it, and that's actually getting me a 1-year visa as a volunteer for this organization that works with the military. So I won't have to worry about tourist visas anymore. That's cool. I guess you just jumped in lately. So my Gigantes Islands was this morning. But because it stormed and rained and big waves and everything, we pushed it to Thursday morning now. So hang in there. Next couple days. Let's see. Yep, I have, but I feel like every time I go there, it looks entirely different again. It's one of the biggest booming areas, hands down, right? Like, I've been there like twice now or 3 times, and every time it looks so much different. So, Samal Island, nope, haven't been there yet. That's Mindanao, basically, right? I think it's part of Mindanao. That's way down. Isn't that also by Siargao? Something like that. So, no, haven't been down to that part yet. Maybe we need to raise some money for your Japan trip. Yeah, well, hang on. We'll get to the Japan trip. All right, JL's got me backing up now. Who's this? Klaus? Hello, Klaus. No reason to be an idol, that's for sure. All right, Bill. Hey now, how are you? Bill from Vancouver. Remember we met last April in Iloilo. Just wanted to say hi and still following you. Keep up the good work. Okay, so I met a few Bills. I'm trying to think. I'm looking at your face there. With your wife? At Muele? Let me know if that's right. Either that or we might have met at Bavaria. Okay, that's good. Oh, you're watching me on a TV. I always forget people do watch me on a TV. That's so cool. Yeah, lots of people here. Good. That's good. Yeah, see, slow jams. Okay, thank goodness. Oh my gosh, Robert, we have struggled without you, Robert. By the way, this is Robert, who let me stay in his place like a legend he is, in Bacolod, because he was away, and he's like, "You want to use my apartment? Just use my apartment." Absolutely beautiful. My transition to the Philippines. Oh yeah, you're the one that's coming in a month. I'm single and plan to stay single, dating only. Where do you suggest I live? I love the ocean and I want to rent a nice apartment condo. Not a lot of places with apartment condos on the ocean so far. Cebu, I believe, has some like that. I think Mindanao now does too, right? Like in Davao. On the ocean, though, I think everybody's just afraid of typhoons, so they don't put them on the ocean here. That's probably the real reason they don't do that. But we were just starting off, like at the beginning of this, I was explaining like where are all the females between 20 and 40 or 20 and 35 to 40, that kind of thing. And I feel like that was the big thing, that they're all now working in the big cities, or they're working overseas, because so many of them now go to college, university, stuff like that. And so the provinces are becoming deserts when it comes to single young females. When I say young, under 40, right? In the age of having kids, that kind of thing. There are plenty that are, got pregnant and married, that kind of thing. And there are, of course, still in high schools and in elementary school, but there's this big gap. And then the ones that came from a generation where not many went to college and that kind of thing, so 40 years ago, that kind of thing, them and up are still in the provinces. But the provinces are going to be like, I think, the country, like in the middle of the Midwest, where you got some farmers. They struggle to have enough people to work on the farm. The towns have become ghost towns. Young people can't wait till they turn 18, go to college or something, so they can get the hell out of town because there's nothing to do in this one-horse town sort of thing. And so, yeah, I feel like that could happen to the provinces here as more and more become educated and move on, right? So I'm going to suggest Cebu IT Park. I'm going to suggest Iloilo City. This might actually start becoming, Rojas City, definitely. See, that's what I think you can do, is you still got little cities that still attract the jobs, so they're still coming there to go to work, where you're going to meet them, and then it's not too much of a big city where they become westernized in I don't need a man, I make my own money, that I'm going to be single till I'm 40, and then I'll get a man and I'll impress him because I have a big house. I think you all know what I mean. So thank you. Check the Logic, $5. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Love the show. Keep it going, Mike. Thank you. Check the Logic. Very much appreciated. So yeah, I would do smaller cities. That's my answer. Smaller cities. Or provincial town near a city, because lower cost of living, and you can be by the ocean, that kind of thing, whatever you're looking for, beaches, without the huge cost of the city. And the cities, there's less space for you. There's less chance of you living by the water, that also. Let's see. Robert, Lakawan and Bantayan Islands ain't far from you. Of course, you're going to make me look that up, Robert. So that's not part of the Gigantes and all that other stuff. You're saying I should go somewhere else. I've heard of Bantayan, I think, actually. Okay. My map didn't immediately bring them up, so I don't know what you're talking about. I'm in Carlis, my friend. I'm in Carlis. So, yeah, I'm in Carlis tomorrow. I'll be in Estancia. I've been here for a couple days now, and I'll be back here on Thursday to go to Gigantes, though. I have first visited Davao and driven the coastline. Was nice, but I have been to better places in the Philippines. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I know, like, it's hyper modern there, too. It's like an Iloilo City. That's what I've been explained. Haven't been there yet, but that's what people have explained it to me, is that it's a chill place, but still a city, and super safe, pretty clean, good infrastructure, that kind of thing, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's how it is. So obviously it is. I gave my YouTube channel, my wife, my ex-wife. She got the YouTube channel, but I also gave her the savings and everything just to make sure she's okay. So at the end of the day, yeah, this channel is. I started from 3,000 subscribers or whatever I had built it up to, something like that. When the 1 year I started it last year, put up like 2 videos, and I think I only had 1,300 subscribers, but whatever. Either way, December 1 is basically when I started this whole thing, and so here we go. You know, this is where we're at. I got this much, and I'm pushing like crazy. Finally get paid in a couple weeks from here. That'll be great. I can finally get my drone again. That's the only thing I've been focusing on, just having a drone again, because there's so much I wanted to do, like going to Gigantes. It's going to be a different vlog if you can't show what the whole island looks like and the beach lines and everything. Get a really good idea. Plus, even when I was in Rojas City, it smashed on the first day. If I could really show people like what the city's like, because it's hard to show you from the ground. You know, to show you that, okay, here's the downtown core, and here's the beach. This is how close you are to the beach. I just need that. I asked the city if they could provide some, and they sent me some stuff of the festival, but I couldn't find any or something. I don't know. So I don't know. I tried. So yeah, can't wait. That's the whole point. Yeah, so that's what I thought. It's right down that way. Oh, Iligan City is in Mindanao. It's a nice, interesting city to visit. Yeah, I've heard that one too, actually. I think I know somebody in that city. And I say no, like Instagram friends, like somebody who follows my Instagram, and then it's like, you should come here. And I keep saying yes, but haven't yet. Samal Island, the Garden City Isle area, just southwest coast of the. So I've seen people's videos from there. Beautiful, like windswept trees and sand and everything, like big, long sandbanks, that kind of thing. But my understanding is you get every single typhoon. One thing beautiful about Iloilo is typhoons came and went. I watched them on the phone every week for a while there. It was a new typhoon, new typhoon. And it's just that side of the Philippines. It just gets hammered, and it goes all the way up into Luzon, right at that one side, and then moves up to Taiwan and China and everything else. But it doesn't really do that much for down where we are. It's just, if you just look at history, it's often just flooding. And then they put in all these floodplains and flood ponds and all these river systems in it to prevent that. So these are... those are all the things that kind of helped it. So I do appreciate that about Iloilo City. There he is, Michael Onset. See? There we go. Get your couch ready, my friend. Come and hang out with you. You already told me we're going to go to some place nearby. That sounds really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. Marco, if you're planning to visit Davao City for coming times, Mike, you can plan along visiting the Garden Island during your longer Davao City area stays. Samal Island, publicly governed part of Davao. All right, yeah. Well, if I go down there, obviously I'm not going to make it a short trip because it's a flight. It's either a flight or a very long boat, something like that. I don't even know where you can take a boat. I think from Dumaguete you can take a boat. I don't think you can from here or something like that. Yeah. I don't know, can I? I think from Rojas City you can, actually. I know from Iloilo it just goes Batangas, Cebu. I think that's it. Let's see. You're just more stuff about it. Yearly high river streets flooding, vulnerable. Just a few. I heard Davao is different. Like when I was talking about the flood, we were talking about Samal Island, that kind of thing, right? But I heard Davao is like super safe for that. It's not in the Ring of Fire, by the way. Near there's Rojas City, so not in the Ring of Fire. So you don't have to worry about the earthquakes. You also don't have to worry about typhoons hitting because it's not directly on the ocean, that sort of thing. So I heard it's actually pretty safe. So yes, Michael Onstad is the guy for insurance. So you need health insurance, that kind of thing. He's a straight shooter. That's why I like him so much. It's not like he's selling a different product than other people. It's just what he gives you afterwards. The fact that he backs everything he says, everything he does, whatever you sign with him, you call him, your insurance company is giving you a hard time, whatever, he goes to bat for you. So I've heard it from a million expats. There's groups on YouTube literally talking about him. So he's pretty well known. He's very well known. Hi, Michael. Love watching the kids. Great stuff. Quick question, if I may. What do YouTube pay for a single view? Oh, not even close to 5 cents. Let me just look. Should be, it's per 10,000 views is how they work at CPM. Or no, I think it's 10,000, or CPM is 10,000 or per 1,000. Maybe it's per 1,000. So it is, I have a very good audience too, by the way. I have 50% America, like 49, something like that. And then Canada, then Australia. Actually, Philippines is one of my smallest audiences. So it's better than the channel I had with Bianca, put it that way. Much better. And so I don't need as many views, believe it or not, to make the same amount of money. And so it is CPM right now. So for every 1,000 views, oh, here it is. Revenue for every 1,000, RPM actually, CPM something else. I think that's cost, yeah, if you want to advertise. So there you go. So for every 1,000 views I get $5.58. So I think you were right. Oh, wow, you were right. It's 5 cents. Wow. Hey, guys, you're all worth 5 cents to me every time you watch. See why I like people becoming a member? You're going to give me $3 a month or whatever it is, and I get half of that, $1.50. You got to watch a lot of videos at 5 cents each to make that same amount, right? So very much appreciate you all. Wow, Ted, thank you very much. Drone Fund, I thank you, Ted. Now I got to look at your picture though, Ted. Ted, what's beside you? What's beside you in that picture? It's such a small little circle, so I'm trying to figure out what the heck that is. Not sure, Ted. Tell us what's in the picture beside you, brother. Listen, that was my 3rd ever super on a live stream, so thank you. Thank you, Ted. You were friggin' awesome. That was so cool. Still want to know what's in your picture. Now I'm totally curious. Let's see. I'm looking for a business opportunity. I've served 20 years in the Navy, and I'm interested in purchasing a large boat for excursions. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I do. You said you have a Filipino wife? I can't remember. Otherwise, you're gonna need some legal help. You're gonna need a lawyer to one you can trust to set up a proper corporation, that kind of thing, so you can make money. Because a work visa doesn't let you start a company, right? You still have to have a business. So yeah, that's really cool. I think it depends like what you're going for, right? You want to go for the expat type business because you can't compete with a pump boat or guy who will take you out for half a day for 500 pesos, right? You don't want to compete with that. You're not going to make any money. But if you're looking at getting a good boat and doing excursions, yeah, it depends where you're going to go. Like the boat club, there's just a few people that do that at the boat club that put their boats there and then they offer excursions out. They even have jet skis for that kind of stuff. And yeah, there's a few people that do that. That's for sure. I think one of the YouTubers here does that. Finn Snow, doesn't he have something like that? Takes people out diving, I think it was. So yeah, totally possible. Oh, 1/2 of 1 penny? Okay. Yeah, see my own math. I wasn't mathing very well. Because I thought you were right too. 5 cents. He is extremely funny. I do watch his stuff. he there's some things that are not politically correct, and there's some things that are politically correct. I love him because he's not politically correct, obviously. He was just talking about province girls recently. He was in a vlog and he's talking about how tight they are and stuff. And it's like, oh, you're building up a, like, it's, you can think these things. You can talk to your friends about certain things, but you're putting it on the internet. You're building a reputation that when girls see these videos, how are they going to feel about it? That kind of thing. Anyway, to each to his own. The guy's getting it. Obviously, he's doing well. He's doing well, right? I'm the single guy that's not getting nothing. So, whatever he's doing is working. But I think we're just a little different. How's that? That makes sense. Anyway, he's super funny. He's got one of the best. What do you call it? He has so much wit. He can come up with things right out of the top of his head that you're like, oh my god, did he really say that? Yeah. Very sarcastic, perfect humor. And he's storytelling. Forget about it. I don't know anybody that's good as him at storytelling and keeping people hooked into the story. So that's a German Shepherd. It's just, the problem is it's so small. That's why. I love German Shepherds. Absolutely amazing. Super loyal dogs. That's what my last drone was. Yeah, it was a DJI 4K. It was just beautiful. They have them on sale right now, but they're not 4K. They're the 1080p, basically. They call them 2.7, but they're not. And so I was like, no, I'll just save. I'll just save until I can get the 4K. I could have possibly afforded the when they had a sale right now. And so I was going to, and I'm just like, no, don't do it. You're going to hate yourself for not getting a proper one with the 4K. So it's like the low-end DJI one that they had on sale. So I'm waiting. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I kind of figured that. I was like, well, that was weird, but okay. I don't know. I didn't know what to think. I just moved right on because I was like, I don't know. Hello. Oh, Winter. Hello, Winter. Long time no talk. Hello. Having a great live stream. We'll catch a replay. Well, thank you. Enjoyed the beach. Yeah, well, it's only going to get better. I got a lot of stuff for you to show you guys. I just don't want to give too much of it away. And, well, on Thursday, I'll have a heck of a lot more, too, obviously, when I go to Gigantes. Yeah, and that's what I figured. I knew he did all this dive stuff and everything and has a great... I've seen his house being built. I just have seen cherry picking of vlogs, to be honest. There's just too many people to watch everybody every day when I'm literally out filming every day, right? So, yeah, like I don't have to, you just have to be careful. That's all. You just got to be careful who you put on your thing. It's no big deal. If I run into somebody, I'm walking down the street. Well, nobody's going to blame you because the guy, you're like, hey, I know who that guy is. Say hello to that guy and ask him a couple questions. Nobody's going to care about that. But when you schedule something and arrange it and premeditate, to have somebody on your thing, then you're kind of like promoting it. That's a little different, right? So I'd rather just run into somebody. That's totally cool. I wouldn't be at blame, and I shouldn't be blamed for the fact that I ran into that person, right? So, yeah. Let's see what else we got here. You should visit Alapasco. I feel like people just say words, so I have to say them. Alapasco. Actually, that's pretty easy to say. Lake. It's just in Batad, next to Estancia. Oh. Alapasco Lake. Wait, what's there? Tell me what's there, other than it's just a lake. Can you give me a little bit of a hint here? Because I am taking a picture of it because I am going there tomorrow. So if you can help me out with any information, Bernard, let me know. Yeah, well, maybe he's just likes being single. Let's see. Jonathan from Travel Escapes is definitely a better option. Yeah, you know what? Everything about it. Like his vlogs are engaging. He doesn't have to dress anything up. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have to worry about too much about thumbnails. He doesn't have to worry about too much of anything. He sells himself. He's really, really good at that. And whatever he's doing is the right stuff. The right stuff, definitely. Yeah, you know what? He is. I know he's from Vancouver, and I'm not gonna worry about his weight. But anyway, yeah, he is. He's a cool guy. He really is. Like I said, it's one thing to like plan something. I'm not a big fan of like sitting down and interviewing somebody very often. I did it a few times, but I always felt like this is boring. So now if somebody wants to do a vlog with me, I'm like, we're walking somewhere. We're going to go and check something out together. And then from there, we'll make something better out of it than just asking a question they've been asked 50 times before and they've answered 50 times before in another vlog. Nothing to be gained there. The name of my microphone, I think, is the same as everything else, which is that Maone. So every time I move, I have to buy all new equipment, right? So in Canada, I had all kinds of equipment. And then I moved to Albania, and I opened a big studio there, right? I had a photography studio. Part of getting your residency in Albania, you have to have a business. So I opened a real business. And but then I also made sure I had like microphones and cameras and everything, and I actually did some videos. There is an Albania playlist there. I had big screen TVs for all my editing and photos and stuff like that. I had like a whole wicked setup because it felt like we were never leaving the Albania because the Philippines were never going to open again. I just felt like never ending of the pandemic. So yeah, I keep ending up buying new equipment everywhere I go and having new budgets for it because you don't get anywhere near as much money when you go to sell it. Especially when it's only a year old, that really sucks. Let's see. I don't have an Apple anything. Don't have an Apple computer. Don't have an Apple phone. Never ever had an Apple phone. I look at that stuff and I'm like, I don't get it. I get why other people like it, but I like my computer here because I can literally get to the guts of it. I can download from anywhere, anytime, any place. I don't need Apple's permission or pay them. And even with the phone stuff, it's like I have full anything. I can create my own apps so quickly and put them on there if I wanted. So I like the freedom that if not an Apple this. So I have the Facebook one, whatever it's called. I haven't used it in a while. I have the number 2, so now apparently it's a 3 now or something. It's failing to come to me what they call it. But the VR, I have the whole VR headset stuff and everything. It's just a novelty for me because I don't really have a lot of spare time. So, let's see. I don't know, Robert. I don't know. What are your favorite YouTubers? Oh, kind of depends, because everybody's a little different. Like I said, I do watch regular guy. I was going to call him Family Guy because it's like watching Family Guy sometimes with his humor, right? But anyway, regular guy I definitely do watch. And I've watched the Armstrong Brothers. I've watched Texas Filipino. Because if you want to learn anything about building, those 2 channels alone are great channels. I actually do watch a lot of the stuff that has nothing to do with where I live. So some guy in Cebu. See, I think I explained it already in another one. It is crazy. I didn't realize, because my other channel, we started it in Canada. We opened it there, did a few videos. But then we stayed in Canada for a while, like 8 months or whatever. Then Cambodia, then Albania, then here. And so, yes, I watched some Philippine stuff because I wanted to move here. And so I knew some vloggers, right? But I still had enough stuff that regular shows I watched and everything, that it changed my algorithm so that I didn't get filled with Philippines vloggers. But then I create this new channel, and people send me links all the time saying, oh, you should check out this guy, you should check out this guy, or this video, or that video. And so I end up clicking it, and then I end up with all these things in my algorithm of all these other vloggers. Well, YouTube thinks I only watch vloggers because it's a brand new channel. And so I literally can scroll for an hour, and there's 100 different vloggers now in my thing. So now I have to apologize to people. I didn't realize there were that many vloggers. When people say, oh, there's too many vloggers there, I was always like, no, it's not that many. Yeah, there is. Whoa. Let's see. What do we got here? Turtle Trade, thank you very much. You'll be over 100K subs in no time. I like your presentation style, informational, fun, and smooth. Hey, plug this channel more often on the old one. Yeah, I don't have I was going to say I don't have access to it. Technically, I do, but it would be inappropriate for me to do that. It's her channel now, so although like she still runs into situations where I may have to help her, like show her how to do something, but other than that, yeah, it's not mine anymore. So yeah, everybody's asking about this mic. I don't know. The thing is, it's underneath this. The brand is like right under here, so that's why I can't give you the name right now. That's all right. Somebody does voiceovers for a living. Oh, there we go. There we go. James. Wow. What do you do? Do you do the deep pitch like this, or do you do the high pitch stuff? Let's see. G-Man, thank you very much. Yes, I'm working at it, my friend. I'm working at it. What were the women like out that way? Oh, can I tell you guys a story? Can I tell you the story of the Albanian women? They are absolutely stunning, number one. Okay? Like, rock your socks off. Absolutely gorgeous. Number two, they want nothing to do with you. They do not speak English there. Nobody does. Like, I say nobody, but 99%, right? Even if you go to a hotel, you're lucky if they know a few words, and it's an international hotel. Lucky. And I was in the tourist city, like town, I should say, that got flooded with people, but they got flooded with mostly Greeks and Italians. So they'll understand Greek, they'll understand a little bit of Italian, but they all speak Albanian. So I had no choice. I was stuck in a situation where I had to figure out certain words of Albanian, in order to communicate with anybody. Like even in my photo studio, I had to load a TV with like an SD card of different poses, showing like models that are in poses, load them into this TV, and I had had a stand built that was on casters that I could wheel it around, and so I'd bring it into the studio, and then I have the remote, and I would flip through them, telling them what pose to change to, because there was absolutely no way to communicate otherwise. They did not understand me at all. So yeah. Android is the best. Do the robot. All right. Do you notice the heat humidity changes traveling around the film? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely do, Scott. Right. Tonight it's actually a little bit humid. Yesterday was so cold. Well, so cold. It was 23 degrees, but there was no humidity. But tonight, because we had rain today, so the humidity is back. But yeah, you go in those mountains, man. Whew, big difference. Big difference. Let's see. There is this couple from Brazil. I can't remember their name, but they do a fantastic job. The guy is chill, and the wife is like a model. I want to say her name is Karen. Oh, Basayan, Hilagon Basayan, something like that. I think that's who you're talking about. Very big channel. I don't remember if they're still in the Philippines or they went somewhere else for a while, maybe Thailand or something. Trying to remember the name. 8 Miles from Home. I used to watch their vlog a lot. But you know why I watched it? It's because, I don't have a little kid and all that, and in their life. But what I liked about it is they really know how to edit and to set up their, like, how they literally put a camera down, drive their vehicle away, and of course they have to stop and run back and go get their camera, and but they tell a story really well. Because if you look at what happens, like sure they have days where big things happen, right? But they can make a video very interesting where they literally did nothing that day, like pet a dog and walked over to the water, came back and cut up some food and ate. But they can make it so interesting and so engaging that you realize you just watched the whole thing, and you're like, wait a minute, nothing happened. So it was quite interesting for me to watch them, just so I could, I don't know, I'd hope to learn from it, but I obviously don't do that. It's their type of editing or anything like that, so I didn't learn anything. I wanted to learn. Did you meet there? No, I haven't met them yet. When I go up that way, hopefully I can run into them. That would be great. Filipino P, I did attempt. I did, because JR did her show as well, so JR had her contact information. And so he talked to her and said, Michael would like to do a vlog with you. She said, give them my email, and she did, and I emailed, but I never heard back. So, Apple's like crack. I heard it's like a cult, man. It's like Starbucks, right? Once you have Starbucks, you're paying $8 coffee for the rest of your life because you're like, no, it's not Starbucks. Watching from my New York City office. Having a car is a great advantage. No kidding. I'd have to say the hotel you stayed in the other day with a surprise upgrade, it's tempting. Yeah, honestly, I really appreciated that. That was really cool. And I definitely would stay there again. But the thing is I try not to stay always in the same places over and over because, hey, content, right? And I can give people good recommendations. So if I keep going to the same place, somebody says, hey, I'm coming to town, and you only have one thing to give them. And I get a lot of messages like that. I literally pride myself in that I do respond to people, especially if they have an actual question, they need something, right? And so if they want information, I can be like, well, here's this place, and that's about the approximate price, and it's really close if you want to go to these things. And if you want to go to, be in Festivalk, here's your selection that you should go to, and this is the price range. I try to give people like lots of options. So I am going back on Friday. It's the Chinese New Year part, right? That was the part. And so when I go back there, I don't know if I'm going to stay in the same one or if I'm going to change it up again, because I've now stayed in 1, 2, 3, 4 places. I've stayed at 4 different places already in Rojas City. So I'm kind of got like a good selection going. 5 places, actually, if you counted the beach one I stayed at too. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I haven't figured out where I'm going to stay when I go back, but yeah, Albania was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Honestly, like I said, the girls aren't interested in you, but there's plenty of foreign girls there, like crazy anyway, because it's a big tourist place now. Well, all my friends that are still there, I see their posts on like TikTok or whatever, where they show their businesses just jammed, just full of people everywhere. And yeah, it's a poppin' place now. But really, really did love it there. The temperature is wonderful. It's mostly warm, 300 days of sun per year. And yeah, you get a couple months in the winter where it goes down to like 5 degrees or something, but it's like Baguio. But the summers don't get crazy hot. You can still wear a coat every once in a while, like you have the fall season, that kind of thing. And if you want snow, you just go up the mountain. Ooh, there's the snow right there. Oh, thank you guys. We're all talking about my voice here. Hey, Filipino thoughts. New sub. What do you mean the province girls are leaving? Well, that was at the beginning of the vlog here. We were talking about that females are outnumbering males in going to college. 1.32 to every one male. So like 32% more are going to college. And so when you go to college, you get a degree. And when you get a degree, you go to the city, number one, to go to college. And then number two, you go to you graduate, and now you can get a good job. And so apparently I have to show this. And you get a good job. And now you're going to have to stay in the city and not going to be in the provinces anymore. Or you go get a job in Canada, the United States, Germany, UK, Australia. And so there is this big movement where, yes, there's people doing farming, there's people doing truck driving, there's people doing jeepney driving, and there's people doing fishing. But those are predominantly men. And so that age 20 to 40 group are slowly becoming less and less, at least on the female side. But yes, still there are still males graduating university and colleges. And so just like happened in the West, people stopped living out in the country in these little tiny towns. And next thing, they became ghost towns, and just farmers live out there. And everybody moves into these cities or the suburbs of a city. And the same thing I can see is happening there. Now, I can't promise you that's what's going on. This was like I said in the beginning, this is my experience. And I was looking for other people to jump in to say, yeah, no, that's not true. Yes, it's true, whatever. Of course, there's people that got married and pregnant and all that, and they're going to still be in the provinces because they got married there and they got pregnant and had kids and that kind of life. But I'm talking about single, available, 20 to 40 years old. A lot of them, and it's increasingly so, are going off to university, then we're in college, and then getting good jobs, which are usually in the city. And yeah, the place to look for the single girls soon will be only in the city. Not only, but for the most part. It takes me quite some time. It depends on the video. Like if I do like a crazy day, right? Like first thing in the morning, get picked up, or I go like on a boat, something like that, and go island hopping and do all that, and then we go here and there, and I got to squeeze these 6 hours total of video into something that's less than 40 minutes. YouTube changed their algorithm, by the way, and so they're really pushing. That's why Mr. Beast and all these guys are saying 30-minute videos only from now on. That's important for them is they want longer content. And so they're only going to promote stuff that is longer. So if I put out a video and it is 30 minutes, they're happy. If I put out 16 minutes, they're less happy nowadays. So if you're wondering why I'm doing it, it's do I want to be a successful channel or not a successful channel? And they control all those buttons. But anyway, I do a lot of stuff. So I always have too much content. That's squeezing it down is the problem. And I probably don't cut it enough. I get it. Because I'm always more critical of myself after I upload. I'm like, oh, I should have cut that out. So it does take me, those big ones can take me 3 to 4 hours. And that's total time. Not just editing, moving a ton of files off my card onto the drive. Then from that drive, loading each clip into Premiere Pro. Then going through them all. I go through it 3 times, maybe approximately. And then the conversion process where it puts it all into one video can take, on a really big video, can take 40 minutes. And then the upload time. Thumbnails, all that. So when I say 3 hours, that's what I mean. So yeah, we are talking about that, Basayan or whatever. Yeah, so I think they're right around that 1 million subs or something like that too. And I thought they were out in this type of area, and then they shifted away. When I was in Boracay, I did watch some of their vlogs. So, but I don't believe they're here right now. I think they're out of the country. Well, there you go. You go leave that message. Thank you. I did write her. Miss Albania went to Miss Earth this year. Oh, I did not know that. They're very beautiful women there. So beautiful. I guess the Brazilian Cup. Jumping Place is another one, actually. I know who Jumping Place is. The other one was Basayan something. I don't think Jumping Place is over 1 million subscribers. Another one, Ovela. We'll go to the Philippines soon. Humidity. How long do you think it will last? Do you think he will last? Yeah, the thing is, well, you can go live in Baguio if you don't want any heat and humidity. I'm going to go find out what that's like real soon, right? I'm going at the end of this month. I'm going to go to Luzon. So by the beginning of the next month anyway, I'll be up there, and I want to see, is it cold at night? Or is it just what people say is cold? Because like last night here was 23 degrees, and everybody wants to wear a parka. So when the people say it's cold, do they just mean it's 21 degrees, or do they mean it's 3 degrees? So they were doing the shorts. Yeah, they were still doing the shorts for a while. When you upload one, they will pump it for an hour. You get 1 hour, and then if it pops real huge, they will keep it going. Otherwise, they'll kill it. But you don't make any money on shorts. So, their shorts are just kind of like awareness. They just wanted to take TikTok money. But no, the more recent one is February of this year. So, we're like February 6th now. So it's only been 5 days, I think 5 days in, where they changed their new algorithm is 30 minutes or more. I know those. I do that too, but I don't leave because I grew up in the city and thought foreigners stealing province girls. Yeah, no, nobody's stealing them. They're just they're wanting to leave to go get better jobs and make a lot more money. So, yeah. Let's see. Do you ever see yourself going back to your ex? It's a two-way street. I don't know. Like I said, I'd rather just leave. Like, and we made our videos and just nothing else is going to go out in the public or anything like that, right? There's things that we just, yeah. 2 different directions. What she wants out of life, what I want out of life are just entirely different. So to imagine that, sure, nothing's dead. Never say never. Let's say that. Never say never. But let's see. Definitely interested in Baguio. I like the climate. Between 59. Okay. 59 Fahrenheit, so Celsius. That's 8, something like that. 7 or 8. Yeah, thank you. Basayan Hilawa is the one I was thinking of. He's an American from Utah, fluent in Bisaya, and his girlfriend was half Pinay, half Australian. Yes, exactly. He had the long, hair, like the guy that came from a romance novel, right? Something like that. But anyway, they were a lot of fun. They were very impactful. People loved watching them. They were a great couple, like super fit, super into trying everything. So definitely. Filipina Aiza Alonga. Hello. I think I'm the host, right? Yes, I'm the host. So what time are we at here? 11:30. Not bad. I'm an hour and a half into it. That's cool. Well, I'm gonna get myself into the beer. They brought me a bucket. And the resort I'm at, for the people that came after the beginning, they've been fantastic. They have crazy good service everywhere. There's people everywhere. When people go to the pool and everything, there's people helping them everywhere. Anything you want to your room, no problem. You'll love this if you come to this place. It's like true 5-star. And all the pools and everything. Oh, so beautiful. That's the ocean out behind me here. It's beautiful. I asked them if I could use this pool bar area because this one's open on the weekends. Got a pool table back there and a bunch of other things. I'm like, yeah, no problem. They had a guy deliver all my equipment here on a golf cart, and security is walking around here somewhere. Super, super cool people, though. Gotta try this place. And I'm not just talking about me. I see that everybody gets that kind of service, top end service. So you really want to check out this place. Well, anybody will tell you. If you come to Carlis, this is the place. Not only that, there is no other place. They just built this gorgeous place in the middle of nowhere. And there you go. So if you came later, a little shout out, Selena. You guys will see it tomorrow's vlog, though, 7 o'clock in the morning. So in 8.5 hours from now, or 7.5 hours from now, it will be live. And you'll be able to see how crazy beautiful it is here. But if you're wondering why it's so quiet, it's because the main part of the resort is way over there. This is the tower, they call it, with the bar and the gyms over here. And everybody here is couples. Here, not couples. There's some family units, too. But 99% is couples. And they are, lovey-dovey. It's the romantic place, that kind of thing. So you don't see them very often. They're usually in their rooms with the big hot tubs in their rooms and all that kind of stuff, and walking by the beach together, that kind of thing. Or they go and do the tours. And then it seems like it's empty. And then I go for a walk at night, and I'm like, oh, no, they're all on their balconies, because the balconies here are gorgeous off of very huge terraces you get with tables and chairs and loungers. And so they're always out there. And I'm like, oh, wow, this place is a lot busier than I thought. Or they all show up at dinner or something like that. It's beautiful, though. Really beautiful. Baguio, 15. 15's not that cold. I heard it gets colder than that. You sell in Iloilo still? Oh, well, right now I'm technically in Iloilo. I'm in Carlis, but that's the far end of Iloilo province, so you couldn't get further than that. Ted, thank you very much for joining. You and your German Shepherd. Have a good night. Thank you very much again for the super chat. That's really cool of you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it is super peaceful here. Very, very quiet, and we'll see how that goes. Where do you see yourself in a year? I don't know if it's exactly a year, but I do know what I want, right? I keep telling everybody I want that place on a beach. I really do want the beach. I know. It may take me a while. It may not happen right away, but I want that beach life. I want to literally just open my doors like this, and there's the beach right there. That to me is a dream. And then, I love doing what I do, so I'm never going to change. I love this. I absolutely love this. But I do want to eventually start a business of some sort. And I have too many ideas to nail it down. but just so that I have multiple revenue streams, which I'm registering the business now, but then to actually start a business is entirely different. So I'll have a corporation soon. Great. I'm ready. But I like doing promotion stuff and everything. So I am telling, like for my corporation, it's going to be a promotion. What is it called? Sales promotion. I think I can do product too, something like that. But basically marketing, all that kind of stuff, right? And it could be, like I've talked about this before, is something that the Philippines really misses out on is manufacturing. They really don't have a manufacturing base here. There's very little is manufactured here. And so I would like to look into that, because think of the jobs that you can provide for that kind of thing. And it's excellent, and it's money into the country, because manufacturing here and you sell overseas is new money, right? It's not recycling. Somebody opens a coffee shop. It's just taking from the coffee shop down the street, and it's just the same money circulating in a big circle. But if you can bring in money from other countries, you're adding wealth to a country. So that would be pretty amazing. No, not a green screen. Not a green screen. This is all real. That's the ocean crashing behind me. You probably can't hear it because I have my noise cancellation off, or on, I mean. But no, I am in a beautiful resort with long beach here. It's all sand all the way down. 3 pools down over here. Big, huge restaurant and everything with, there's a bar right there. There's a bar over there. It's like you're going to have to wait 7.5 hours. You will see what it's like. Have you ever been to a place where it's so nice? Yeah, sure. Who hasn't, right? Try Manila, right? I've been in places in Manila where I think what happens is the sound drowns out. And so therefore you can finally sleep because it's just so much sound that it just kind of goes all together. I'm not a big fan of the roosters in the morning because they don't do it at 7 a.m. They do it at every hour, 24 hours a day. I swear TV just tells you that they wake you up in the morning. No, they wake you up all the time. But yeah, some places with construction right beside you too. Filipino Thought says, I wish I do travel in the Philippines before outside my country. Yeah. In the Philippines. Yeah. So yeah, I'm that's the same thing. I don't need to go anywhere else right now because I have so much of the Philippines still see. LOL, it's a no-tell hotel. Yes. Well, they're having a good time. They're having a good time. Let's see. Raya's saying he's going to be on a beach with Gatorade. See-through water, a new Maganda wife, and a dog. Manifesting. Thank you very much for manifesting. But I also, like today I went to this farm. It's just a hobby farm of theirs. And I'm like, I would love this hobby farm. Like, I like cows. Is that weird? I like goats and the sheep and I like what they're doing. They don't even, it's a hobby farm. It's just for fun. And so, like I said, the coat on their goats look like somebody brushes them with the best brush in the world. I was like, what? Somebody's taking a lot of tender, loving care on these goats. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot of things I do like about it, but the beach, it's been my dream. Even when I was back in Canada, that's what I envisioned. And so I would like that life, but I like doing what I do. I like the vlogging and the traveling around and meeting new people and going to new places and everything. It is work because, yes, it's 3 hours sleep a lot. That's pretty normal. And editing sucks. And sometimes, like, you just don't feel like filming, but you got to film. So, that still exists. But otherwise, I would never call it work, like work. I had that, right? I've been working since I was 14 and then left when I was 45 or 46, something like that. Yeah. So, yeah, manufacturing, that's what I come from, right? I came from automotive manufacturing and then construction material manufacturing. That's my my background. So I understand it pretty well. I know the marketing of it and stuff like that. But marketing is the highest and most difficult thing for anybody. So, that part I think I can do. Yeah, big manufacturing companies in Laguna teaching park. But that's the thing. I mean it overall. Like in Canada, you just drive down the highway and it's just car manufacturing plant over here, a steel mill over here. This one makes bolts and screws and nuts, and this one over here is doing concrete fittings and forms. It's just like never ending everywhere you go. And it doesn't matter if you go no further north or whatever, up there they make tractors and those kind of things. Like when people, like what I imagine is manufacturing and what people say here they'll have some companies that make food products. They have obviously their alcohol products, that kind of thing. There's just not, like there's no, TVs aren't manufactured here. Chairs, yes, but not, I don't know about mass production. Some light fixtures maybe, but again, mass production, I'm not sure. I'm just trying to think what is made in the Philippines that would be considered like an international audience. But there we go. You're giving me the answers here. Clothes, shoes, linens. You can visit Pampanga for their cuisine and discover crafts. Yeah, so that there is Pampanga. That's an interesting thing because, you know, in Capiz, when we were over here, they literally take the Capiz shells, bring it all the way up to Pampanga, and make them into, you know, Capiz tiles, Capiz lamps, Capiz everything. Yet they could be making it in Capiz, which they do. I did a tour of that plant, right? But they only wanted to keep like 10 employees. She didn't have any ambition to grow anymore from the last time when she used to be bigger. So it's a sad thing for this area. I'd like to see more of that. But no, I do think there's a bigger opportunity for manufacturing. I'm not saying there's no manufacturing, but yeah, I'm also saying there's no manufacturing because it might be in Laguna, but is it here? Is there anywhere on the Panay that is a manufacturing facility other than sugarcane? Trying to think what else is here. You know, a small little guy that makes some glass for windows, that kind of thing, maybe. Big plants, though, or anything that's doing distribution internationally. Yeah. Wow, William, thank you very much. I appreciate you very much, William Johnson. $20. That's freaking amazing. You're so awesome. Thank you for joining in, that's for sure. Let's see. We got Marco saying, Michael, the northeastern section of Capiz and Iloilo on the Panay Island, how does it strike you on impressions compared to the city-dominated regions of Iloilo City and Rojas? Yeah, here it is smaller. It is smaller. Like, I'm trying to describe how it is going around here, but yeah, there's not, I don't want to say there's not much out here, but there's not much out here. This is the thing. Like, if you are a person who like country living guy, you know, that kind of thing, and I say I like the provinces, right? But then I got out here, and so far in my trip, it's not over, I realized something of myself. Yeah, I gotta be a lot closer to a city. I kind of need a city, but I don't want a city, like a Rojas City and Iloilo City, but not where I am right now. Maybe just a little bit further north or east or west of it, and that would be me. I come right out here, and like there's a 7-Eleven, but there's not a pharmacy. I looked, like there's some no-name little, they call it a pharmacy, and you go there, and they have very little. But if you want like a name brand pharmacy, no, there's no name brand pharmacies. Nowhere on Google Maps. I'm looking, and I'm like, I have to go all the way back to Rojas City to find a pharmacy, like a proper one. So yeah, little things like that. That again, for other people, they're like, that's paradise to me. But here, not a lot of availability of things. That's the first thing I noticed there. Doesn't mean it's not beautiful here. Doesn't mean they don't have a lot of beaches. Doesn't mean it won't be super cheap to live here. It would be. Just the conveniences for me. That's the part that making me realize something about myself. Recent city tour, do you notice any religious difference in the communities, whether Catholic or Muslim? This island, no. No, here is a lot of Catholic, right? Like, you'll see in my vlogs there, but there, you know, we have the world's tallest Jesus not far from here, and then we've got the world's largest Mary statue, so which you will see in my vlogs very soon. So yeah, like this is very much a Catholic area, very, very, very much. Like most of the streets are, you know, something Jesus Christ of something Nazareth, that kind of thing. Like the street names literally are religious. So not a lot here that I can find anyway, that not noticeable, let's just say. So it depends where you're going. So no, I don't see a lot of difference here. That's one thing about Albania. Muslim and Catholic lived very much harmoniously, very, very harmoniously in that culture there. It was incredible how well and no divisiveness. Everybody was very, very, very good with each other. So I thought that was really great. Yeah, so it depends. So like you don't have to. Like if you're doing steel manufacturing, yes, you're going to need a lot of capital up front. There's certain industries, but there are some, and I just don't want to say right now, but there are some industries that you could start a lot smaller with a little less money, maybe considerably less money. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it very much. Have a good night. Oh, Intel left here. Yeah, well, and I've spoken to other people, and that one thing is that it's a positive of the warmongering and the fear and all that stuff when it comes to China and everything, is that it makes businesses think twice. Second. Why did I say second? Think twice about moving plants or even doing manufacturing in China and looking for places that are American friendly, not going to have to worry about sanctions or anything like that. And and obviously Taiwan is like a no-no right now. They're not looking to put more plants there for sure. And they want to make sure it has no Chinese influence over their economy, that kind of thing. Right or wrong, it doesn't really matter. We're just cogs in a wheel anyway. But it does open up a big opportunity for the Philippines for any manufacturing plants, especially if it doesn't take a lot of skilled labor. And what I mean by that is you don't need to be welders or anything, but like assembly plants and stuff like that. Nowadays, robots do a lot of the work anyway. So it's just the labor part. Put the piece in, machine does the work, and you're just making sure it did it right, that kind of thing. So it's just a small amount of training. But yeah, normally to like Canada, like if you have a Toyota plant, you have licensed crane operators, you have lots of welders, you have a lot of machinists, you have a lot of millwrights, like a lot of high skill stuff, right? That is difficult, or engineers alone. Like in one automotive manufacturing plant, there may be 300-400 automotive engineers working at that one plant. So do we have 300 to 400 automotive engineers in this country that have any knowledge of in manufacturing of automobiles? No, it just probably doesn't exist here. For the international audience, their most loved and favorite export product, which is a mass volume, is absolutely on a global scale, the labor force. Yeah, the labor force, they're already doing that, right? $40 billion a year comes back just from them working overseas and sending money back. Other than some of you guys who send your wives or girlfriends or whatever money from your countries back here, you're part of that stat too. But it's huge for the economy here. I believe it's up to a high percentage. I don't remember the percentage anymore, but it's up to a very big, large percentage where it's like tourism is not number one anymore. OFW money coming in is number one. Same here. I started 13 cleaning schools and working on farms, went on to construction. I had my own business since I was 20, bought my first house at 22, now going on, now 36, going to retire there in 5 years. Wow, good for you. Look at you. There's right there. You should just write a manual. This is how to do it. You got it. Babe, that's not even true anymore. No, it's not even true anymore. If you look at some of the vloggers that go to like Cebu IT Park, Manila, BGC, that kind of thing, and they go around and they interview all of these college age girls. Very few of them even want to have kids. Very few of them even want to get married. Most of them are talking about, I don't need a man, I can make my own money. When they ask like age or money, what's more important to you? And they're like, money. And he's like, oh, okay. So you would take, and they're like, no. I meant like I can just go make my own money. No, I'm not interested in anybody more than 2 years my age, that kind of thing. So that dynamic is changing here, right? They're all like, no, I can make my own money. I don't need a man in my life. I can't, there's certain things I can't say on YouTube, but I've witnessed my government of Canada happily donating certain educational services to the educational departments here in the Philippines, in some of the smallest towns I've ever seen, in the least populated provinces, where they have to teach teachers that this is the things they teach kids in the West, they need to teach their kids here. Does that make sense? That's all I'm going to be able to say here. Anyway, there's a big push for non-marriage, non-everything, single, and a lot of them are growing up that way. They're like, nah, I don't need school, or I don't need a man. I don't want to get married. I'm going to put my career first. When I'm 40, I'll start thinking about having kids, that kind of thing. That's happening here. That's happening here with the younger culture. Nobody's thinking of having 16 kids. So the more they're moving out of the provinces, the faster that's changing big here. And so right now, yeah, I think it's only dropped to like 4 for every 2 people, but it's going to, I think you're going to see it. Just like in Korea, it's 0.5 for every 2 people. Japan, of course, is, everybody knows that, but Korea is a good example there, where now they put careers first, and then they just don't ever have children, that kind of thing. And their population is absolutely decimating. So I think you're going to see, it just hasn't shown up in the stats that much anymore, or not yet, I mean. But I think another 10 years from now, they're going to be like, oh, we're not replacing our population anymore. I think it's going to happen. 7,000 Islands, not sure one of the one, but I think Honda scooters are built there. Oh, really? I thought they were all imported. Maybe they assemble some of it here. Carlis, beautiful beaches all around you. So the island hopping is on Thursday morning. It was supposed to be this morning, but it got rescheduled. So Edwin, I will be doing that. Majority of the local used herbal medicine in the provinces. That's true. That's true. And some of them work. I'm not going to say all of them work because I don't know them all, but like some of the stuff they have here, like in these little bottles and everything, and you just go and everybody uses them, and you're like, oh my God, it works. This stuff's great. Can't remember the names of them, or I would just say them. You are well known to Boracay Island, Aklan, from past times already, but did you put time back into visits and roam around the other parts, Aklan province? So yeah, I did that motorcycle tour, as you know, in Aklan and Antique, Iloilo, like did that like circle, and stayed overnight here, stayed overnight there. But then there were other times where went with Pauline and we went through Aklan and Antique, go up the mountains. Then there was a couple times that we went to Kalibo, and I've been to Ati-Atihan, that time. Trying to think what else I've done, like the Kawa baths in the river that you can like the tables sit in the river, that kind of thing. Trying to remember all the names of them. So there's tons more I'm sure I can do there, but I did enjoy it. Been to Kalibo a few times. I've been on Kalibo Cable. They interviewed me on their news channel thing or whatever in the studio. So yeah, a little bit. Got a little bit in there. Doesn't mean I'm done. Definitely more to see. Has it already? It's eventual, right? You can't have that many billion some odd people and then compete against a 300, 400 million. Eventually, they're going to catch up. But right now, they're going to go through that big crash, right? That's going on now. I think their stock market dropped like 20% this week. So that's going to, but like all economies, they do that, they do that, they do that. So I never say never again. It is, but it's also a destruction of traditional family values. So it depends what you're cheering. Some people are cheering for that. They don't want the family values, and they just want women don't need men and feminism and that kind of thing, and that's fine. To each their own or whatever. But I think humans need to be sustainable in some way, and I think family values is what keeps people from being criminals. And overall, doesn't mean you can't be a criminal, but I mean saying like. It holds things together. It makes communities better. It makes just overall, like here, everybody's so friendly and kind and nice. But that comes from traditional values. And if you go to a city where everybody's don't care about their neighbors, don't care about they don't care about anybody, they don't even care about their own family, like that, it just doesn't do good things for good societies. So yeah, you're saying here that they just came back. Yeah. So this cooperatives, I've been part of some of these things in the past, and the hard part is to get people to write checks. That's the rule. Go there, you get all these commitments. People say things. Let's see them get the checks. The checks are the most important part. Okay, you made the commitment. Now follow through. A lot of charities do that. They have these big charity balls. People commit to all this money, but then only a certain percentage of it actually happens. That's why they like to hover over them and make them write the check right on the spot, sort of thing, because it's hard to get people to follow through with commitments. And they want the picture taken and the handshaking and the feeling. But then they came back and realized, well, not that easy. It's going to be a few years. But Philippines is booming. Let's be very, very clear. Philippines is booming. And also, what country is it? Is it Malaysia? Yeah, Malaysia. The government has come out saying they want to be the world leader in electric car battery manufacturing because they are the world leader in nickel mining. So there's also that whole thing going on. So I'd love to see it happen, but I'll believe it when I see it. That's the hard part. Let's see. Jane and Finch. I used to live right in Rexdale. I used to work in Rexdale, right near Jane and Finch. Carrier Drive, if you know where that is. Right near your stomping ground. Plus, I used to go to Jane and Finch all the time. And used to be a very interesting place. It's probably not so interesting anymore. I put it this way. When I worked there, it was many years ago. We were talking like 20 years ago. It wasn't unusual to hear gunshots. So, yeah. Hello, Uncle Howie. Thank you for joining. I started working at my early age too, helped my father on a farm. I like construction jobs. I think I can be a millionaire when I'm out of the Philippines, like the USA. Fantastic. I haven't been to Palawan yet at all, but I do have my friends that both of them have invited me, one in Coron and one in Puerto Princesa, that when they go, I should go with them, that kind of thing. So it's going to happen very soon. It's going to happen very soon. It's a beautiful place. Beautiful place. The 3 6s. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from the trolling stuff too. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. All right, guys. So I have to edit tomorrow's video. I started, by the way. It's probably only needs another hour and a half. And it's midnight. So I have to get it up so it's there for 7 a.m. I want to thank you for joining. I want to thank you all of you. Swear to God. You guys are amazing. Absolutely amazing that you came on here and joined me. And you're subscribed. I really appreciate that. Like, thank you. You guys give me a lot of support, and I really appreciate that. And obviously, those that you super chatted, super amazing. All of you. I thank you very much. And all of the members that you see, like Robert P. here, lights up in green with the little check mark. It's because they became members. They clicked the join button and joined in as a member. I really appreciate you too. So I'm going to let you guys go, though, because I got to sleep at some point. I had my 3 hours only last night. Finish the video. Get some sleep. Head to Estancia tomorrow. Look forward to these videos. You're going to see a lot of really cool things. You're going to want to come to Carly's. You're going to want to come here and stay at this resort. Once again, I'm just going to flash their thing there because you're going to want to come here. If you're in this area, you're going to want to check it out. So, Lena, it's the only 5-star resort anywhere around here. So you can't miss it. It's absolutely gorgeous, though, and I highly recommend it. And you're going to be shocked by the prices tomorrow because it doesn't have 5-star prices, which is amazing. All right, guys. So thank you very much. I hope you guys have a good night or day. I guess some of you are just getting started on the day. Appreciate you joining me for this basically last-minute live stream sort of thing. Wasn't actually going to do that, but I am going to put it on the 20-second countdown, and so this part will all be cut off. But I see all your comments, and I always watch them afterwards, by the way. So I do see your comments, even if my stream ends. All right. Thank you very much, guys.